strange things about Tibet, where women must sleep with 20 men before they can marry. Tibet, known as the roof of the world, is a hidden gem nestled behind majestic mountains, guarding its untold mysteries. The beauty of Tibet is like a mystical painting, sparking curiosity and adventurers eager to discover new wonders. When you set foot on this sacred land, you'll witness breathtaking natural scenery with snow-capped mountain peaks, emerald green lakes, and vast, expansive grasslands. Breathing in the fresh, pure air, you'll feel an extraordinary sense of peace and tranquility. But Tibet isn't just about stunning landscapes. It's also home to countless mysteries that intrigue visitors. From the legend of the giant Yeti to the practice of polyandry, where brothers share a wife, and even the tradition where Tibetan women must sleep with 20 men before getting married. All these elements contribute to the irresistible allure of this land. Get ready to explore 15 strange things about Tibet and step into a mystical world where anything can happen and secrets await your discovery. Number 15. Polyandry brothers. Sharing a wife. Tibet might be the only place in the world where polyandry still exists, specifically where brothers in one family share a wife. The primary purpose of this practice, according to Tibetans, is to prevent disputes over land inheritance after the parent's death. Thus, a girl is married to multiple brothers within a family, and they all live together under one roof. The eldest brother, the primary husband, has the final say in family matters. This way, family land remains undivided among the brothers. Instead, they work together to develop their estate with their shared wife and children. This custom is carried out as follows. If a girl marries the eldest son of a family, his younger brothers also marry her. The eldest brother will be the head of the household once the parents pass away. However, if the eldest brother is away, the next brother takes responsibility for the family and the shared wife. If there's a third brother, he has 3 options: become a monk, marry a girl from another family with no sons, or marry a widow. When the shared wife in this polyandrous family has children, it's difficult to determine the biological father, so the eldest husband is usually recognized as the father. This unique marital practice continues generation after generation in Tibet, aiming to preserve family land and prevent conflicts among brothers. What do you think about this unique custom? Number 14. Tibetan women cannot refuse a marriage proposal, even if it's not from someone they love. The concept of sharing a wife to preserve land and maintain lineage diminishes the importance of a bride's virginity in Tibetan culture. The status of women in Tibet is fragile. They lack the voice to protect their own lives and happiness. If a man proposes to any Tibetan girl and it's her first proposal, she cannot refuse, regardless of her feelings for the suitor. According to the long-standing beliefs of the Tibetan people, it is considered a grave taboo for a girl to refuse her first marriage proposal. Such an act would be harshly condemned and criticized. Therefore, whether she wants to or not, once a Tibetan girl is marked for marriage, she must always agree to avoid herself and her family being ostracized from society. However, sometimes many girls already have a beloved, and if that beloved also wishes to marry her, they will do everything they can to prevent the girl from being snatched away. In these cases, devising a scheme together to bypass the custom is often employed. The girl will pretend to go out to the market or to visit relatives, while her beloved will disguise himself as a villain who unexpectedly appears to commit a vile act. Then, a group of close friends will pretend to pass by and catch them in the act. These friends will then return to the village and announce the unfortunate incident to everyone, thereby allowing the couple to gain acceptance for marriage. Number 13. Women must sleep with 20 men before getting married. While many cultures place high value on preserving virginity until marriage, there exists a place where women are encouraged to have multiple partners to gain sexual experience before becoming a bride. This peculiar marital custom can be found in Tibet, a land renowned for its Buddhist traditions and breathtaking scenery. This peculiar marriage custom is not found far away, but right in Tibet, a land famous for its Buddhist tradition and stunning landscapes. Because the main purpose of Tibetan men in marrying is to maintain lineage and avoid property division, the virginity of women is no longer crucial. Tibetans believe that marrying a virgin brings bad luck and disaster to the family. Therefore, girls must find at least 20 men and persuade them to have relations with them before they are eligible for marriage. Tibetans believe that a girl must have relations with at least 20 men to be considered attractive. Furthermore, this helps the girl accumulate experience before going to her husband's home. Saying, "It is easy," but doing it is difficult because Tibet is a remote and extremely harsh land. Therefore, finding 20 men to gain experience with is very challenging for the girls here. Moreover, most men here marry very early, so once they have a family, it's very difficult for them to spend a night with a stranger. Therefore, most girls who want to meet the marriage criteria have to wander everywhere in the hope of finding someone willing to help them accumulate experience. Then, they have to obtain some item from the man to prove that they had relations with him. Only when they have had relations with 20 men are they allowed to marry. Any girl lucky enough to meet the requirement of sleeping with 20 men will soon be married. What's even more amusing is that after marriage, the bride even receives a medical document aimed at supplementing knowledge in that matter. Interestingly, that document also specifies the number of times one should make love each season. Like in winter, it should only be 2 to 3 times a day, in autumn 2 times a day, and in summer 1 time a day. What are your thoughts on this custom? Share your opinions in the comments below. Number 12. Restrictions on foreign tourism to Tibet. Did you know that tourists were first allowed to visit Tibet in the 1980s? Until the colorful collapse of history, Tibet remained closed to foreign visitors until the 1980s, marking a turning point in Tibetan history. Although Tibet remains closed during the Tibetan New Year, typically from January to February, the region is open to tourists for the rest of the year, provided they join an organized tour with a guide. Besides the initial permit to enter Tibet, those wishing to venture beyond Lhasa will need an additional permit. Don't worry, we can arrange all the necessary itineraries and permits, making your trip easy and comfortable. Number 11. Yaks, the symbol of strength and endurance in Tibet. When thinking of Tibet, one cannot forget the image of majestic yaks grazing on the high plateau. Yaks are considered the most iconic and famous animals in Tibet, playing a crucial role in the material and spiritual lives of the Tibetan people. Standing at an average height of 2 meters and weighing up to 1 ton, yaks are known as the giants of the plateau. Their thick, long fur and sturdy hooves help them adapt well to Tibet's harsh weather and rugged terrain. Yaks provide essential resources for the locals. Their extraordinary strength is used for plowing fields and transporting goods across rough terrain. Yak meat is a rich source of nutrition, providing protein for the people. Yak milk, rich and creamy, is used to make butter, tea, yogurt, and other products. Yak hair is soft, durable, and warm, used for weaving fabrics, making carpets and tents. Even yak bones and horns are crafted into jewelry and household items. Beyond their material value, yaks hold significant spiritual importance for Tibetans. They symbolize strength, endurance, and the courageous spirit needed to overcome challenges. Yaks are featured in many festivals, traditional ceremonies, and artworks. Given their economic, cultural, and spiritual importance, yaks are highly respected and protected by Tibetans. Numerous programs have been implemented to preserve and develop yak herds, contributing to the preservation of the unique cultural identity of the roof of the world. Number 10. Newborns bathed in glacial water, Tibet, with an average altitude of over 4,500 meters above sea level, has a harsh climate. The landscape is cold year-round, covered in snow with thin air. These severe conditions have forged the extraordinary resilience and vitality of the Tibetan people. One unique and somewhat chilling traditional ritual that showcases this resilience is the glacial bath for newborns. On their first birthday, a trusted woman from the village takes the child to a stream of melting glacier water and immerses them for 1 minute, exposing only the head. Afterward, the baby is wrapped in a cloth and dressed normally. This is not just a regular bath, but a test of the child's vitality. If the baby withstands this harsh ordeal, they are considered strong enough to survive Tibet's tough environment. However, if the baby turns blue and becomes lethargic, the family prepares for the worst, believing the child hasn't passed this life and death test. The glacial bath ritual for newborns is a testament to the fierce vitality and extraordinary adaptability of the Tibetan people. Those who pass this harsh test go on to live and thrive, preserving and promoting the unique cultural identity of the roof of the world. Number 9. The most gruesome burial rite in the world, sky burial or celestial burial, is the most unique and somewhat gruesome burial practice globally prevalent in Tibet. Instead of burying the dead in the ground, Tibetans take the bodies to high mountains to be devoured by vultures. There are two forms of sky burial, basic and elaborate. Nomads and villagers in remote areas typically use basic sky burials, where the deceased is simply taken to the mountains for the vultures to find. The more elaborate form involves a series of rituals. Lamas pray for the deceased, who is placed in a sitting position for 24 hours. The body is cleaned, wrapped in white cloth, and the spine is broken for easier transportation. A close friend or family member carries the body on their back. The journey to the burial site begins early in the morning. Family members accompany the procession to recite prayers and play funeral music, but they must maintain a certain distance from the deceased. The body is laid flat on a stone surface, and the Rogyapas, who are corpse handlers or burial masters, ignite juniper branches to create a scent that attracts vultures and begin their work with sharp knives. From the hair to the internal organs and finally the limbs of the deceased, everything is dismembered and thrown to the hungry vultures. The Rogyapas then crush the remaining bones, mixing them with barley flour to make it easier for the birds to consume. The reason behind this ritual stems from the spiritual beliefs of the people here. They believe that after death, humans are reduced to mere flesh and bones, and vultures, the scavenger birds, are sacred creatures that will guide the soul of the deceased to its final resting place. Performing the sky burial ritual is considered a noble act, demonstrating a dedication to nature and following the example of the Buddha himself, who once offered his own body to feed a starving tiger, thus preventing harm to other living beings. In addition to the spiritual aspect, sky burials also arise from the harsh natural conditions of Tibet. It is a region of freezing high mountains, treacherous terrain, and severe climate. Burial underground in the hard, frozen ground is extremely difficult, if not impossible. Cremation is also not a suitable option due to the scarcity of wood and combustible materials. Therefore, sky burial becomes the most optimal and appropriate solution for the people here. Today, due to the influence of modernization and urbanization, the sky burial ritual is becoming less common. However, it is still preserved in some areas, especially in remote regions that uphold long-standing cultural traditions. Preserving and safeguarding this ritual plays a crucial role in maintaining the unique cultural identity of the Tibetan people. What are your thoughts on this burial practice? Share your opinions in the comments below. Number 8. Tibet cannot grow tea. Everyone knows about the delicious and rich butter tea, a traditional drink that has been a staple in the lives of Tibetans for centuries. Butter tea is not just a refreshing beverage, it is also considered a magic potion due to its remarkable benefits. In the harsh climate of the Tibetan plateau, butter tea plays a crucial role in keeping the body warm, providing energy, and supplying essential nutrients to help people withstand the cold and scarcity. What's special is that Tibet cannot grow tea. All the tea used to make butter tea is transported from India through a long and arduous journey of over 4,000 kilometers, thanks to the legendary Tea Horse Road. The Tea Horse Road is not just a route for transporting goods, but also a cultural and trade bridge between regions, contributing to the unique cultural identity of Tibet. Despite the ups and downs of history, the Tea Horse Road has always played an important role in the lives of the people here, symbolizing courage, resilience, and the spirit of trade. Today, with the development of transportation, the Tea Horse Road is no longer used for transporting tea as it once was. However, it is preserved as a valuable cultural heritage, attracting tourists with its rugged beauty and legendary tales of tea-laden horse caravans traversing the challenging terrain. Number 7. Home of the Yeti. Tibet has long been shrouded in mystery and intriguing stories about the elusive creature known as the Yeti, or the abominable snowman. The legend of the Yeti has persisted for centuries, sparking curiosity and fascination about a giant ape-like creature said to inhabit the majestic Himalayas. Various pieces of evidence and clues purportedly linked to the Yeti have been found in Tibet, including large footprints in the snow, thick, long hair samples, and even bodies preserved in ice. However, none of this evidence has been conclusive, and there has been no scientific confirmation of Yeti's existence. Nevertheless, belief in the Yeti remains strong among many people, especially the locals of Tibet. They recount stories of encounters with this giant creature, affirming its presence in the Himalayas. Numerous expeditions have been organized to search for the Yeti, but so far, no concrete results have been found. The legend of the Yeti remains an unsolved mystery, fueling the imagination and adventurous spirit of people worldwide. Many expeditions have been organized to search for the snowman, but so far there have been no specific results. The legend of the snowman is still an unanswered mystery, evoking people's imagination and desire to explore. Maybe the snowman is just a product of imagination, a part of folk culture passed down through generations. However, it is also possible that it is a real creature, lurking in the wild, rugged areas of Tibet, waiting to be discovered. Regardless of the truth, Tibet, with its majestic, mysterious beauty and the legend of the snowman, is always an attractive destination for tourists, attracting those who love to explore and wish to decode the mysteries of Tibet nature. Number 6. Lhasa is the sacred city with the mysterious Potala Palace. Lhasa, the capital of the Tibet Autonomous Region in China, preserves the rich cultural and heritage values of this land. Known for its role as a political, economic, and spiritual center, Lhasa also attracts visitors with historical landmarks steeped in Buddhist influence. Located in Lhasa, the Potala Palace is an iconic symbol of Tibet and a masterpiece of unique architecture. Once the winter residence of the Dalai Lamas for 13 centuries, the Potala Palace comprises two main parts: the White Palace and the Red Palace. It houses over 1,000 rooms containing murals, artworks, tombs, and chapels. Since the Dalai Lama went into exile, the Potala Palace has been recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1994 and serves as a museum preserving the cultural and historical values of Tibet. For centuries, the Potala Palace was not only the residence of the Dalai Lamas, but also a center for training Buddhist monks. Besides the Potala Palace, Lhasa is famous for the Jokang Temple, regarded as the spiritual center of the region. It attracts visitors from around the world with its sacred golden Buddha statue. Lhasa, meaning land of the gods in Tibetan, lives up to its name. This city boasts numerous majestic monasteries and temples, drawing pilgrims and visitors to immerse themselves in the tranquil atmosphere. Lhasa is an ideal destination for those who love exploring Buddhist culture, offering opportunities to experience the magnificent natural scenery and the simple life of the local people. Would you like to visit this place? Please share your thoughts below. Number 5. Fresh water source for nearly half the world's population. Tibet provides fresh water for nearly half the world's population. Few people know that Tibet possesses the third largest amount of fresh water in the world after the North and South Poles. It is often referred to as the third pole, due to its essential role in supplying water to the major rivers of Asia, including the Brahmaputra, Ganges, Indus, Mekong, Salween, and Yangtze. The abundant fresh water from Tibet sustains the lives of over 2 billion people, accounting for nearly 47% of the world's population. The lakes and rivers in Tibet, such as Lake Namso, Lake Yamdrok, and the Lhasa River, are not only vital for the local people, but also provide water for agriculture, industry, and daily life for many neighboring countries. With its unique geographical position and dense river system, Tibet plays a crucial role in regulating regional and global climates. It is often called the Water Tower of Asia, helping to maintain ecological balance and protect the environment. The combination of natural value, unique culture, and importance of fresh water makes Tibet a popular destination for tourists from around the world. Visitors come not only to admire the majestic landscapes, but also to learn about the local culture, experience life close to nature, and explore the mysteries of the third pole of the Earth. Tibet is indeed a very special region essential for environmental protection, sustaining life, and contributing to the overall development of the region and the world. The protection and proper use of its freshwater resources is a shared responsibility of the international community to ensure sustainability for future generations. Number 4. Buddhism as the cultural and life foundation of Tibet. Buddhism plays a central role in Tibetan culture, permeating every aspect of daily life. It forms the basis of the people's beliefs, traditions, and values, shaping their worldview, guiding their interactions with the world, and providing them with comfort and wisdom. The rich spiritual heritage of Buddhism is evident in the monasteries, which serve as centers for worship and learning for monks. These monasteries are not just places of worship, but also hubs of education, healthcare, and art. Religious ceremonies, including prayers, chanting, and meditation, are an integral part of the spiritual life of Tibetans. The influence of Buddhism is also seen in Tibetan architecture, art, and literature. Colorful Thangka paintings, majestic Buddha statues, and the oral tradition of Buddhist stories all testify to the profound impact of Buddhism on local culture. The belief in Buddhism brings peace and hope to the Tibetan people in their challenging lives. They seek guidance and solace from the teachings of Buddha, believing that reincarnation will lead them to ultimate enlightenment. The close integration of Buddhism and Tibetan culture creates a unique identity, attracting visitors and those interested in spirituality from all over the world. Traveling to Tibet is not just about exploring its majestic landscapes, but also experiencing a rich and profound culture, where Buddhism is a beacon illuminating the lives of its people. Number 3. The reincarnation of the Dalai Lamas. The Dalai Lama is regarded as a revered spiritual and political leader worldwide, embodying infinite wisdom and compassion. The title Dalai Lama originates from the Mongolian word Dalai, meaning ocean, and the Tibetan word Lama, meaning reincarnated teacher. His residence is the magnificent Potala Palace, situated on the vast Tibetan plateau. Since the first Dalai Lama, Gendon Drupa, born in 1391 and died in 1475. Subsequent Dalai Lamas have been discovered from childhood through the practice of reincarnation. After a Lama passes away, they leave behind certain relics and a poem to guide disciples in finding the reincarnated spirit. Additionally, senior monks are believed to receive dreams and other signs to assist in the search. According to Tibetan Buddhist belief, the Dalai Lamas are incarnations of Avalokiteshvara, Bodhisattva of compassion, who watches over and protects all beings. When a Lama passes away, their soul is believed to be reincarnated in a sacred child within 49 days. Currently, the 14th Dalai Lama, Tenzin Gyatso, is the rightful successor. He was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1989 for his tireless efforts in advocating for peace, freedom, and self-determination for the Tibetan people. His life and philosophy have inspired millions around the world. The tradition of identifying the next Dalai Lama is a sacred and unique ritual. Senior monks rely on signs and prophecies to locate the reincarnated child, often in remote regions. Once found, the child is brought to Lhasa and undergoes rigorous Buddhist education to prepare for their role as a spiritual leader. The succession of the Dalai Lama stands as a testament to the deep-seated belief in reincarnation among the Tibetan people. This belief is an essential part of their cultural and spiritual heritage, inspiring steadfastness and hope for the future. The image of the Dalai Lama, with his gentle smile and compassionate eyes, has become a symbol of the Tibetan spirit. He is a beacon of spiritual guidance for millions and a source of encouragement for those yearning for peace and freedom. What do you think about this? Share your thoughts below. Number 2. Most monasteries and temples in Tibet are built on mountains. Tibet is home to numerous monasteries and temples nestled on mountain peaks. This unique architecture reflects not only human creativity, but also the profound spiritual beliefs of the Tibetan people. Most monasteries and temples in Tibet are built on high mountains. This practice stems from the local belief that mountains are the abodes of gods and the most sacred places for worship and prayer. Building temples on mountains signifies reverence for the deities and a desire to connect with them. Additionally, Tibet's plateau landscape contributes to the unique architecture of its temples. The harsh climate and rugged terrain necessitated the use of local building materials such as stone, wood, and clay. Tibetan temple architecture typically features sloping roofs, thick walls, and small windows to withstand cold weather and strong winds. Beyond their architectural value, Tibetan temples are vital cultural and spiritual centers for the local people. They are venues for religious ceremonies, educational activities, and traditional festivals. People visit temples to pray, find peace, and seek spiritual tranquility. Tibetan monasteries and temples are an integral part of the cultural and spiritual tapestry of the roof of the world. These places attract visitors not only with their unique architectural beauty, but also with their serene and sacred atmosphere, helping individuals find inner peace. Number 1. Barley is the staple food of the Tibetan people. Tibetan barley is the main food crop on the Tibetan plateau. This crop plays a crucial role in the material and spiritual life of the local people. Tibetan barley has an extraordinary ability to adapt to the harsh climate conditions of the plateau. It can grow at altitudes ranging from 3,000 to 5,000 meters above sea level, where the climate is cold, oxygen is scarce, and the growing season is short. Tibetan barley grains are rich in protein fiber, vitamins, and essential minerals. The grain contains high levels of lysine, an essential amino acid that the human body cannot synthesize on its own. Tibetan barley is the main ingredient in many traditional Tibetan dishes. From barley grains they make sampa is roasted flour, thukpa is noodles, balap is bread, chang is beer, and many other dishes. Tibetan barley is considered a symbol of prosperity, luck, and longevity in Tibetan culture. This crop is often used in religious ceremonies and traditional festivals. Today, the Tibetan authorities are making efforts to preserve and develop Tibetan barley. Production programs for research and development of new varieties, improved farming techniques, and the enhancement of farmers' livelihoods are being implemented to ensure a safe and sustainable food source for the local population. Tibetan barley plays a crucial role in the material and spiritual life of the Tibetan people. This crop is not only a main food source, but also a cultural and spiritual symbol unique to the plateau region. So we've explored 15 fascinating aspects of Tibet. Would you like to visit Tibet and experience it for yourself? Do you have a fondness for its people? Feel free to comment below. Thank you for watching our video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with our latest videos. See you in the next videos.